2012, India's biggest ethical hacking competition. I request Mr. Ajin to head over to the stage.
Good afternoon all. I'll be talking on the topic detecting and exploiting cross-site scripting vulnerabilities with Xenotix XSS exploit framework. A bit about myself. I'm an information security enthusiast. I'm the youngest here, I think so. Only 20 years. I got no jobs. I got no company. I'm a student. And if you got jobs, I'm here. Then I code in C++, .NET, Java, PHP and Python. And I'm just another learner. So I think all of you know what is cross-site scripting. It's basically just a injection vulnerability which allows any attacker or anyone to inject some malicious codes in web applications. And later this injected web application is presented to the victim, and these malicious codes got executed in the victim's browser side. And these flaws occurs basically due to since the web application takes untrusted data and sends it to the web browser for execution without proper validation and escaping. So that's a bit about XSS. And XSS, is that a big deal? So before a lot of time, before ages, people or the developers consider, or even the pen testers consider XSS as a low-ranked threat and consider it useless. It's just a script-colored XSS or document or cookie. And SQL injection, LFI, RFI, RC, etc. big deal, and XSS is nothing. Only the possibilities are like cookie stealing, phishing, etc. Then after some tools like Beef, XSF, XSS channel proxy, XSS shell, shell of future by Lava. Where is Lava? It's not here. It's a good job anyway. Then XSS.io, which was presented at DEFCON 20, etc. People started to understand that XSS is a deal. That means with these tools, it will be, for the pen testers, it was a great relief. Their proof of concepts made easily and attractively. And also, in the case of their employees or their clients, they can make attractive POCs so that their clients will understand the severeness of the threat. So that was the benefit of this type of tools. And some facts about XSS: it is mainly oriented in client-side attacks and client-generated attacks. Client-side attacks are like phishing, cookie stealing, etc. Blah blah. Then we have client-generated attacks. These attacks are like DDoS attacks, which are done from client-side even without the knowledge of the client. So this is how this attack goes. And internet games like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, etc. understood the severeness of this threat, and they included this vulnerability in their bug bounty programs. They started to give bounties. And considering the importance, modern web browsers, all of them started to filter and block accesses up to a certain limit, even though that's not up to the level. So what is Xenotix XSS exploit framework? It's nothing. It's a penetration testing tool written in VB.NET. That's all I know. Then C++ and Java for its components. And it's actually a vulnerability scan, XSS vulnerability scan, as well as an exploitation framework. So what's new in it? It is having a better and dedicated XSS scanner and with a huge payload list, XSS payload list. And it's simple, user-friendly. It's having a GUI for the exploitation framework. So you can make your proof of concepts with these. And one more thing is that it is one of its kind to act as a vulnerability scanner as well as an exploitation framework. W3AF, which I think web application attack and auditing framework is there. But for exploitation, it's a good scanner, and for exploitation it needs the Beef plugin. And these are some of the features of the tool. It is having built-in XSS payloads and XSS keylogger implementation. It's a part of the exploitation framework. Then XSS executable drive-by download using the Java drive-by method. Then we have XSS reverse shell and a payload encoder. We'll be going through each. So the built-in payloads. Currently it's having an inbuilt payloads of over 500 plus XSS payloads. I think about some 590 in the latest version. And it includes HTML5 compatible injection payloads. And there are different methods which are there are different XSS protection methods available, like which are used by the developers, like string replace filter, HTML entities or HTML special characters. And most of these weakly designed filters and web application firewalls can be bypassed by the inbuilt XSS payload included inside the tool. You can see some of the examples. This is the weakly implemented string replace filter or the entities filter, special character, etc. This is how it can be bypassed by the inbuilt payloads. And this is one thing interesting I have to show you. This is a payload, XSS payload. I am considering only XSS payload. XSS payload comparison of different web vulnerability scanners, including commercial and freely available tool, Xenotix XSS, Selenium, etc. So you can see the payload comparison between this commercial and freely available tool. And I believe, I'm not sure about, it got the world's second largest XSS payloads. The first one is with IBM's AppScan, which is having 700 million payloads on XSS itself. Now going to the exploitation framework. First thing is an XSS keylogger. It's having a keylogger feature implemented with a quick PHP server. Actually, it's nothing. There's a JavaScript. It will generate a JavaScript. All you have to do is that inject that JavaScript in a vulnerable application, and all the keystrokes in that page, even the username or password or what for it, even complete keystroke from that page. It doesn't need to be inside a field, that is inside an input box or something like that. So all the keystrokes are sent to the PHP server, and which you will get in your console with the tool. So that's a good POC, I think. Then it's an executable drive-by downloader. Actually, it is an implementation of Java drive-by. So the victim or the test mission needs Java runtime environment to be installed, and it allows a malicious attacker or a pen tester, whomever. So just specify the executable URL, and it will generate scripts that can be injected into the application. So that will initiate a drive-by download. This is basically implemented with a Java applet, a malicious Java applet. This applet actually executes or access the command prompt and creates a file winconfig.bts, which is a Visual Basic script, and this script has the ability to download the exe from the specified URL and to execute it, all done without the knowledge and permission of the user or the test mission. Now a reverse shell. This is also a similar implementation of Java drive-by. Here more specifically, we will be implementing a reverse shell. All you have to do is that specify the reverse IP, that's your IP. Then you can inject any of it, and you can start a listener. And the same way you will get a reverse shell after a successful exploitation. And another is the XSS payload encoder. So you know that different types of web application filters and firewalls, etc. can be bypassed with different encoding techniques like base64, so and so. So it's supported in the tool. So now how to test, how to scan a website. It's in the preliminary stage. So the scanning is follows this approach. Suppose you have to you have a term like you have a suspected variable, you have to test it. Then follow this way. You can specify the protocol in the URL field, and the next field contains all other field other than the variable to test. I will be explaining more in the demo session. And in the variable to test field, you can specify the variable you have to test. You can select between inbuilt payload list as well as the custom payload list, that is your own, and you can have an enter. You can have a test. So that's how it works. I don't like much in theories. I want it in practical. So this is the demo. So first we will be looking how to scan a website for XSS. This is the vulnerability I found in Reliance Communication website 1 week ago. XSS. So I'll be copying. Is it visible? So I'll be copying the URL and taking the tool, and after specifying the protocol, I'm just giving all the parts other than the variable to test. Next we have the variable to text or the parameter, that is service, and give it in the variable to test field. Then I will select inbuilt XSS payloads, and I will go for automated mode. You have to specify the time interval there. I give some 5 seconds and started the attack. You can see that after the attack had begun, the payload count is increasing. Actually, it is testing all the payload in its database against the website. You will get live response to it. So it's testing all the payloads one by one. So I have got an alert. So that means site is vulnerable. This is how we will be detecting the XSS. Then we will be going through the exploitation framework XSS keylogger. So this is a XSS vulnerability that injected team found in MSN. It's not by me, by MSN. So I am just using that for the demo. I'm taking the tool, go for the XSS keylogger part. I have to specify my reverse IP. So because I am starting a server, so that's the. I have to specify the reverse IP there. And you can start the server by starting the keylogger. So it will automatically generate the scripts that you can inject into it. Inject any of it. One interesting thing is that it is bypassing the Chrome's filter. So after the page is reloaded, here you can see the console, and now I am typing something in the website in the search field. You can see that it's there in the console. It's not needed to be in the input field. Anywhere in the document you type, you will get it there. I type hacker, you got hacker there. So that's a keylogger implementation. I think that's a good POC. Then the XSS driver download implementation of that. Similarly, you have to specify your IP. This time I'm doing in a LAN. Some complications in the net, so I'm doing in the LAN. That's my reverse IP. And you have to specify the URL of the executable, which you have to get in the driver. So it will generate injectable scripts. You can select any of them. This time the victim is Windows 7 Ultimate Service Pack 1 fully patched. So after executing this, after visiting the URL, it will see there will be an automatic pop-up of a window, and you can see I'm aware it's a prank application. It's an executable. The client doesn't, or the tested machine doesn't downloaded anything nor executed anything. Everything happens automatically. That's Java drive-by. And the similar method we will be using to implement an XSS reverse shell for showing the terrificness of the attack. Similar way I am describing my reverse IP and specifying the port for which the TCP connection should be there, and I'm starting the attack. Sorry, starting the server. First I have to start the listener. Then injecting any of the script. Same thing. So after the script is executed, there is a disadvantage to this. It will be there is a USC popping up like this. So if the victim accepts yes, then obviously you will get a shell. See here, you will get a shell there. That's a reverse connection with an XSS. So making the severeness of the threat. So that's about in the demo. These are some of the victims I got with the tool, including PayPal, EA Sports, Manorama Online, BBC, Reliance Communication, etc. So some of the features I would like to implement for the next build. Support for Gecko and WebKit engines, because XSS shows slightly different behavior in different browser engines. So I have to include that in it. Then support for accessing post parameters. I want to make it a completely access detection framework. So for that, then testing headers for access detection, automatic detection of vulnerable parameters, then detecting dongles, the third kind of accesses, then access proxy implementation, then DDoS attacks, and the native cookie theft. These are things I would like to add for the next build. I'm working on that. And I'm concluding. So I think the access in a popular website is a high security threat. So the tool can be used by security analysts for XSS hunting as well as for creating proof of concept with the exploitation framework. Interesting thing is it's completely free. You don't have to pay like commercial scanners. And there are programs like Google Vulnerability Reward Program, Facebook Bounty Program, etc. Go for XSS hunting and grab your bounty. Thank you. Any questions?
You said you are planning to add other browser engines as well, right?
Yeah.
Currently, I think it's written in .NET.
Yeah.
So you're using the web browser control, which is Ajin.
I think .NET Auto supports. You can add Chrome's WebKit as well as Firefox Gecko inside in the .NET. So for that you will have to have separate implementation. That's the one challenge before me.
Any plans to make it open source?
Yeah, I'm thinking on that. It's, first I have to develop it some more. So after that I will be releasing it open source.
Great to know.
Okay. Any more questions? So,
your presentation has taken everybody into a state where they are zero. So that's the reason we are not expecting any questions.
thanks. So if you need something to tell or something to discuss, you can contact me. So through this, I'm available through all the social networking sites. You can contact me through mail or whatever. So one thing I have to tell is that currently the tool is supported by OWASP, and you can follow this link to download it, or just Google for OWASP X Xenotix. You'll get it. So that's it. So no more questions. Thank you.
One more report from the youngest one. Beautiful presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Ajin for sharing your views on detecting and exploiting XSS with Xenotix XSS exploit. I request Mr. Anirudh Thombre to felicitate Mr. Ajin
Thank you so much for your presentation. We hope you keep on bringing new subjects and new frameworks so that we can use that for our all purposes, maybe. Yeah.